Hey, this is Scott Jones. Had something on my mind about Alex Jones. Recently everybody knows Alex Jones, or most people know that Alex Jones is a famous conspiracy theorist. Uh, he's made a lot of controversial statements. He's sort of like David Icke. He comes from left field. Uh, a lot of his stuff has proven to be accurate. Some stuff is out there. You take it with a grain of salt. But recently, he's been in the news because a judgment has been made against him. I believe in the amount of $1 billion. Apparently, some of the parents of the Sandy Hook victims sued him, and the judge gave them a judgment. From what I can understand, they're saying that Alex Jones made some false statements about the incident. One of the key things, I believe, is saying that it didn't happen, period, and that it was a hoax, basically. This judgment needs to be acknowledged by conspiracy theorists, because I consider myself somewhat of a conspiracy theorist and somewhat immersed in that community. And I can say this: there's something brewing where they're after conspiracy theorists. Alex Jones made a couple of mistakes. One of them, a mistake that he made was denying that the kids were killed in the first place. I mean, you have to acknowledge that this really happened. I mean, this is not a hoax in the sense that it didn't happen. So when you make those type of statements, there's no way you can support that. Okay, let's say in a wild conspiracy theorist world, let's say none of the kids were really killed. Can you prove that? How do you prove that? Even if they are hiding the kids somewhere and they're not really dead, you can't prove that. So why would you say that? You got to watch what you say, what you can prove. David Icke says a lot of stuff that he can't prove, but this is the key with David Icke. A lot of the people that he speak against, they won't come out in the open to sue him or discredit him. And this is why I believe, because they're so evil that they don't want people to know their existence anyway. To go after David Icke, they would have to expose themselves. That's not the case with Alex Jones. You're talking about kids who have been killed, and their parents are hurt, they're angry. So for you to say that it didn't happen, that was a key mistake. And I think conspiracy theorists need to look at that. Number one, if you see these active shootings where people have been killed, don't go out there and say it didn't happen. That's the most stupidest thing that you could say, because you can't prove that. 9 times out of 10, you're wrong. People have actually gotten killed. So don't say that. That was stupid. Now, this is what you can say, and this is how Alex Jones should have approached it, and strictly should have approached it. Okay, Sandy Hook happened. These kids were killed. But the man who killed them, do we really know his motives? What was his motives? Was it just what law enforcement and the media is saying, or is there something else? See, with that, you're on safe ground, because you're not denying something that happened, okay? So you're acknowledging the parents' grief. And then you're focusing on the main thing I think needs to be focused on: the shooter himself, his history, his background. Focus on that. Focus the attention of the masses on that. Because if this man, this active shooter, whoever he may be, if he is sent by some reptilian agenda, some satanic agenda, the last thing that they want is your attention on him. See, when you say stupid stuff like the kids didn't get killed, this never happened, you take the attention of the masses from what needs to be focused on to your stupid statement. And the media just crucifies you for that. Don't make that mistake. Acknowledge that it happened and focus on the shooter. Focus on his history. Focus on everything about him. And anything you find that connects him to the agenda, you expose it. But you do not dishonor the victims. That's a mistake. Another mistake Alex Jones made was claiming that some of these people were crisis actors, that they were just actors. Now, I'm saying it's a mistake not because I don't think it's possible. I think it's possible that people can be acting. I think it's possible that some of the parents could be actors. Possible. But this is the thing. Can you prove that? In order to prove that, you would have to get footage of these people appearing in different active shooter situations and using different names. You would have to get proof that they work for some type of acting agency. You need solid proof when you say that. You can't say that people are actors and their kids have been killed. You're not going to get no sympathy that way. That's an idiotic statement. He dropped the ball on that. Okay? So this is rule number 2 for conspiracy theorists. If you think these people are actors or they're pretenders, get some evidence. Get evidence that we can see and hear, the masses. Get evidence that the news has to put on, that they can't deny. I would try to get 8 or 9 or 10 incidents of them appearing as someone else or being an actor. Because then that way you got a line of evidence, which is what you have to have. I believe this judgment was rendered against him to shut other conspiracy theorists up. But I would encourage all conspiracy theorists, don't quit. Keep exposing the agenda. Just make sure you have solid evidence up under you, okay? Because the powers that be, they're going to try more of this. When you say something, they're going to try to sue you. They're going to try to nitpick. So make sure you have your evidence up under you. Keep your pressure on these people, because I believe there is an agenda. And that's from my studies in the occult and my studies in magic tell me that there is such thing as the Anunnaki, that there are reptilian type creatures. Now, whether they have infiltrated law enforcement or media, I don't know. But I tell you what, it would explain a lot. So keep the pressure on these guys, but with accurate information. Don't ever say that it's a hoax. Focus on the shooter. Focus on law enforcement. Focus on everything that's said that you can document and prove. That's the worst thing that they fear. Solid proof that the masses can understand, that forms a consensus and get these jokers off our planet. Conspiracy theorists, I know what happened to Alex Jones is rough, but don't get discouraged. And I would tell Alex Jones, don't get discouraged, brother. Just be more accurate in what you're doing. Okay? Conspiracy theorists, you guys keep your head up and keep on going. They can't stand the truth. They can't stand proof. And if it was an evil house, it's time to raise the roof. Don't shake, don't bake. Keep the pressure on them snakes. We all love you. You're not alone. Conspiracy theorists, this is Scott Jones. I'll talk to y'all later.